You ready?
We're recording.
Go. Track 11 of the Big Trip Mix. Pretenders, my city was gone. The Pretenders, my city was gone is a song about going back to Ohio, industrial city reality. The leader of the Pretenders is reality traveler Chrissie Hynde. She grew up in Ohio industrial city, and when she received the calling, she left home reality and traveled to the far-off and exciting London, England reality, and vowed not to return until she would become a great music woman traveler who could properly meet to her past reality with rock and roll hits. And she did become a rock star, but it took many years of paying her traveler dues, and by the time she returned to Ohio industrial city, many things had changed. These were the years when everything moved out of downtown to the suburbs, and things had changed so much and so fast that it felt like her city was gone and replaced by a completely new city. All of her favorite downtown places were gone, and her family's home was gone, and the farms around downtown were gone, and they were all replaced by parking lots in the mall. I like the song because it's about my home reality. Chrissie Hynde is older than me, and I cannot meet too with her on the old city, but I can about the new city. My dad was a doctor, and he made enough money for the family to live in the very suburbs to transform Chrissie Hynde's past reality. And I know the exact mall and the exact parking lot that she mentions in the hit song. We lived in the suburbs because they were close enough that Dad could commute to the downtown hospital, but far enough away to avoid the rest of the dangerous and decomposing downtown reality. We lived in a house called The Nest. It was a very big house on top of a big hill and in a big yard that separated us from the neighbors. The Nest had everything you needed, like food and toys and TV, and you only left the Nest when you were forced to go to school reality or when Mom was going to drive you to the mall. Then I received the calling, and I didn't want to live in only the Nest reality, so I left the Nest and went to Artsy Lawless College reality. I still missed home reality. It would come back on all my breaks. But every time I come back, something about the Nest would change. Like after I left, Mom and Dad suddenly started wise man training. Wise men are people about seeking enlightenment. They believe things are too dark, and they can't see the world clearly enough, and it's making them miserable. So they try to find some lights to see more clearly. My parents started following new wise men rules like doing yoga and eating healthy and reading self-help books. They felt like they were starting to see things more clearly, and then they realized clearly that they didn't need to live in such a big house, and they moved the Nest to the smaller house. It was very unsettling to me. By the time I was in reality traveler training, I stopped coming back. I received an update every now and then from home reality about even more changes. I wonder if I recognize the Nest at all now. And I knew this could be very dangerous for me as a reality traveler. Hand me that Buddha.
Yeah, I was just about to.
Hand me that Buddha.
The reality travel training lesson of the professor. Past realities. Beware of past realities, the professor said. A past reality is a reality you are once part of but are not part of anymore. When you're a part of a reality, the rules of that reality have a way of seeping into your body. And the longer you're in a reality, the more the rules seep in. And when you return to a past reality, no matter how long you've been away, what other reality rules you are now following, those seeped-in rules will become activated. And you will be then compelled, as if hypnotized, to follow the rules of the past reality. This is known as a time warp. And a reality traveler caught in the wrong time warp may struggle to perform their Me Too duties. And it is not even unheard of for a traveler to become so time warped that they forget they are even a reality traveler, and they become completely Me Too disabled. Furthermore, you will be caught in the time warp even if the rules of the past reality have now changed. Every time you try to follow the past rules, you will be jarringly reminded of the new rules. This is known as the time fuck. And if enough past rules have been changed, the time fuck can be so severe and frustrating that it leads to traveler vertigo. A state in which your mind is so overwhelmed that it shuts down and refuses to function on even the most basic levels. And obviously it is impossible to Me Too in this state. If you believe you're about to enter a past reality with a particularly undesirable time warp, it is best to have on hand a grounding device to remind you of your traveler duty.
It's like a non-disembodied hand.
Dog. My legs were very wobbly and my whole body was vibrating as I walked to the door of the smaller house. I had to go to the front door and ring the doorbell because I didn't have a key to the house. And on the other side of the door I could hear a sharp, furious barking. And then Mom opened it up. And a shaggy animal leapt out and snapped its teeth at my hand. This is the Boo Dog, Mom said. No, this is the Boo Dog. This is the new puppy. Our old dog, Dogritos, had died during that winter. We called it Dogritos in honor of Doritos. Doritos are a snack chip about having a bold nacho cheese flavor. I didn't know until that day, but I guess they got this new dog to replace him. I named him Boo Dog after the great wise man, the Buddha, Mom said. The Buddha was a wise man about growing up in the biggest yet darkest palace in India reality. It was so dark that you could not see people's skin to see if they were old or not. And when the Buddha finally went outdoors, he could see people's skin in the sunlight, and he realized that not only were some people older than others, but some people were so old that they were dead. It was then he realized the great Me Too. Eventually, all realities end. The new dog kept jumping up and trying to bite my hand. Boo Dog, no, Mom yelled and grabbed it. It kept barking at me in her arms. Its black shaggy hair came down over its eyes and you couldn't read its intentions. I tried to smush my hand into its cute face and it snapped at me again. The dog made me uneasy, and we walked inside and I was even more uneasy. The walls of the smaller house were all wrong. They had the same pictures and paintings as the big house, but the walls were too new and white, and their dimensions were too small. I suddenly felt lightheaded, and I could feel something strange happening to my body, almost on a deep cellular level. I had to go sit down. We went into the kitchen, and Mom started talking and told me that Dad was going to be working at the hospital that night. And then she asked me about the big trip. She wanted to know how long I was staying. Only one night now, and then I'll be back for another night in a few days, I told her. Mom had never understood reality travel. She said that They didn't talk about it in wise man training. One night, she said, "You're gonna be right back on the road tomorrow? Don't you need to rest?" "I have to make it back and forth from Philadelphia in a week," I said. And then I told her about the wedding. "A wedding," she said. Do you have anything to wear for it?" I told her about my wedding uniform. "Well, what about pants?" she asked. "You can't just wear jeans to a wedding." In reality traveler training town, I loved the idea of my wedding uniform. But in this reality, Mom was an expert in clothes, and she was making a lot of sense to me. I suddenly realized that if I didn't look like everyone else in wedding reality, I might stick out like a sore thumb and blow a potentially crucial appearance me too. "What do? I panicked. "There's no time to get new clothes now." "We can go to the mall early tomorrow morning," she said. "I think there's a sale." Phew, all right. I was glad Mom was helping taking care of things, and I didn't have to worry about doing it on my own. And then the weirdness I was feeling earlier started to go away. I started feeling very all right. Almost, it's all right, baby, all right. And then suddenly I realized that I hadn't fed myself since I left Colorado. And I looked around the kitchen and became very hungry. And I needed to be fed.
Celery.
Under the moose.
Under the moose!
Yo!